Hi, I'm here with Jelf Karnes with New World Travel. How you doing, Jeff?
Good, Charlie. Thank you.
It was great to see you at the Scal Luncheon early this week. What a great lunch.
We had an excellent turnout, and the club's really going through a great renaissance right now.
I think so. I mean, I have to talk to Roger, our president, and find out when the next luncheon is, because Travel Mall has to be there and show the world, you know, how a proper Scal League luncheon works.
I'd like to set an example for everyone, the way it should be done.
Yeah? Well, I meant, and we'll talk about New World Travel in a moment, but one of the things at the luncheon was you talking about what the Scal Los Angeles chapter, vis-a-vis you, is doing with the... Tell me about that project.
Yeah, we co-sponsor something that's called the Grand Canyon Challenge, and it's a partnership that we enter into with the Challengers Boys and Girls Club of Metro Los Angeles, where we raise funds and put together an itinerary to the Grand Canyon, parts of old Route 66, Joshua Tree, and we take a number of inner-city youth who have to qualify through some achievement that the club sets up, the Challengers Club sets up. We take them on a 3-day tour to the Grand Canyon and really expose them to some elements, geography, and different environment than they're used to seeing in the inner city.
Great program. And maybe we should, if you don't mind, ask you just to briefly explain to our audience what SCAL is.
Yeah, SCAL is a club that was founded in 1932 by a couple of gentlemen in Sweden and France, and it was initially a friendship club to spread friendship and peace through travel. The club now is in over 80 countries, has over 3,000 members, and continues to flourish as a club of travel executives who do business among friends, who represent various destinations and travel interests throughout the world.
And globally, it's over 20,000 members.
That's correct, yeah. 3,000 clubs, 20,000 members in over 80 countries.
Yeah. It's, well, I'm a new member, and I know that part of the objective of SCAL is networking, how to meet counterparts that you could do business with. And I've only been a member 3 months, I must say. I've attended SCAL luncheons in New Delhi, of course here in Los Angeles.
Nice. Right.
To what extent have you taken advantage of it?
You know, I've been a SCAL League since 2001. When I joined, I do a lot of travel to Germany and Brazil. I've attended luncheons and gotten to know a lot of friends and business partners in both of those countries. And really, the SCAL membership sort of opens doors and sort of pre-qualifies you as someone who is serious about their travel and would be a good person to do business with.
That's great. Well, I didn't mean to get into SCAL, but we just saw each other a few days ago.
Absolutely.
And let's talk about New World Travel. Tell me about it.
Okay, New World Travel has been around since 1979. We were conceived initially to service Dare Tour, our parent company in Germany. We continue in that role. Dare Tour is the number one German operator sending business DER to the United States. New World Travel has offices in New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Honolulu, and Miami. We do close to 200,000 passengers a year into the United States, and we have expanded beyond our German roots and found some complementary arrangements with markets in Australia, Brazil, South America, England, peripheral Europe, and continue to grow.
That's great. Now, I remember, last time I was talking to one of the New World your colleagues in New York City, Peter
Dorner, yeah.
Right. And it was a number of years ago when the New York hotel scene was just changing from a seller's market to a buyer's market. And he was telling me he was holding on to a lot of rooms that you had to prepay. And the reason I get into that is we're back in New York City with the seller's market, aren't we?
Very, very much so. Yeah, New York has been our number one destination, for international visitors, but also one of the more challenging destinations to work within. It's still a very strong seller's market. Availability is very difficult to come by. Inventory is sparse, and the rates are at a premium.
You're the DER customer base from Germany. What's the mode of travel in the U.S. now? Is it motor coach, FITs?
FIT has had a renaissance really in the last few years. DER was one of the leaders in Germany of putting together various products on an individual basis. They were the first to sort of unpackage a lot of the products that were typically offered in Germany with a flight and a car rental, and they wanted to give the consumer the ability to put their own programs together. So a few years ago, the catalogs got bigger. There was a lot of unique and different products, and it really represented the maturing of the German market to package their own holidays. We're seeing now a resurgence of coach tours. That market is coming back.
Oh, really?
The fly drive market is very strong, and we feel it's a great sign that all markets are really doing well. It represents a very mature situation.
Who's buying the coach tours in Germany? Demographics.
You know what? We're finding surprisingly that it's a younger population now. Typically, it was something for an older couple, let's say, to do, whose kids were out of the house and they had some time and perhaps didn't speak English as well as they felt comfortable, in traveling. So they'd go on a coach tour. They were looked after by a German language, tour manager. Nowadays, we're having younger people who find it a great way to be driven around, to get to know other people, and to get to know a lot of new destinations at once.
Oh, interesting. Now, Germans has always had the reputation, German visitors to the U.S., they love anything that has to do with cowboys.
Absolutely.
Hasn't changed, huh?
No, it hasn't. In fact, the Germans, as they were young, they read the novels of Karl May, who talked about the American West and the Indian culture and really represent the frontier spirit in Germany, and that spirit still lives on, and a lot of the Germans love to come out and experience the national parks, the Indian culture, really the Wild West. And I think they're probably the number one visitors to, foreign visitors to the national parks in the western United States.
They camp, or what do they?
They don't camp. They do a lot of motorhome tours. They do a lot of fly drives, but they really study up on their holidays. They do a lot of research on where they were going to go and what they want to see, and are a very informed visitor when they come.
And what percentage of New World Travel's business is non-German market, non-der?
Yeah, I would say currently we're probably doing 65% of our business in the German market, of which it's predominantly DER, Myers, and ADAC, the brands of Reva Group, which is our parent company. The other 35% is really spread out throughout the rest of the world, and that percentage keeps changing. And I think over time we'll find ourselves in a 50-50 situation where half of our visitors are from third party.
The parent company's name again?
Is Reva, R-E-W-E. Reva is a big consolidated company that owns grocery store chains as well as a lot of travel interests. Yeah, the Reva Group.
So Germany has TUI,
right?
Reva, and that must together represent the bulk of travel purchases in the world.
I would say between TUI, Reva, Thomas Cook, FTI, and Berge and Meer, you probably have a good 80%, 85% of the German travel market within those few companies. It represents the consolidation that's taken place in the last few years.
That's great. So how's Powwow being?
It's been great.
Day 2 now?
Yeah, it's a very buoyant show. There's a lot of interest from our core markets. There's a lot of interest from new and developing markets, which you see is very healthy. I think there's a general positive spirit on the perception of the U.S. as a destination that's becoming easier to go to. The visa requirements are being addressed and seem to be moving in the right direction.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the upcoming elections.
No.
Visas.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Really? So you...
Yeah. We find a lot of optimism right now in the market, yeah. And that's reflected...
We have felt that as well.
That's reflected in the discussions you have as well as the numbers that are on the book, so...